Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to begin our program, so I'm going to ask that whatever your faith affirmation is, we're going to pray. So if you stand when you pray, you can stand. If you sit, it's okay. But we're just going to pray and open up, and then we're going to be in the hands of our wonderful MCs, okay? All right. Dear God, we thank you for this another day that you blessed us to be in this place. We thank you for getting us all here safely through all the snow and the ice and the cold. We pray that you be in this place and fill it with your presence and let us have a good time and remembering all the things and the struggles that we came through. Bind us together in unity and love and help us to love each other from this day forward. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Well, welcome everyone, and thank you all so much for braving the freezing temperatures to join us today for Madison Park Development Corporation's Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Healthy Community Brunch. My name is Leslie Reed, and I'm Vice President of Programs at Madison Park Development Corporation. Jean Panato, our CEO, wishes she could be here today, but savvy lady that she is, she planned a vacation in Florida, so she isn't here to join us. So on behalf of both Jean and our board, welcome. This event would not be possible without the Mass Service Alliance Day of Service grant or the inspired work of the Youth Workforce Program participants here at Madison Park. I'd like to especially welcome them and thank them for today. So close to 50 MPDC youth have worked to make today possible. They've been planning since last year to create the program for today, to share inspirational presentations that celebrate the life, leadership, and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So in addition to breaking bread, we'll enjoy poetry, interactive activities, dance, and music. While this event is an important opportunity for our youth, it's also incredibly meaningful and inspiring that we gather here today, young and old, and in between across generations on this special day. I'd also like to thank AmeriCorps and DREAM for providing us with so many volunteers to help make this not a day off, but a day of service. And given that this event on this special day is really about service to our youth and to our families and to our communities, I'd like to share a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Thanks so much for coming, and now I'd like to hand it over to Kelly Ransom, MPDC's Communications Manager, and Liddell Wilkerson Jr., who is a participant in our Youth Workforce Development, to kick off the speaking portion of our program and introduce you to our very special guests. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. To start off our program, I would like to, it is my honor to introduce and welcome Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you very much, Liddell, and I want to thank you for your work. It's great to be here in the Dewitt Center. I was here about 3 months ago. We were giving away, we were having a food drive, and it was amazing to see this place. First of all, I love this gym. Young people, do you like this gym? Is it any good? A little small, right? But it does the trick. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank all the staff here. I want to thank Leslie, who's representing here today. I want to thank Erica, Madison Park, Jeannie, Wilbur, Arlene, and all the young people. If I forgot you, I apologize. We're also joined by a couple of elected officials with us today. City Councilor Nisha Sabi George is with us. Representative China Tyler is with us, and some great people from the community who have done an awful lot of great work in our communities. Most of all, I want to thank the young people that are here with us today for your leadership. We're also joined by the Commissioner of the Boston Fire Department, Joe Finn, is with us. Thank you, Commissioner Finn, for being with us today. This event was put together by young people, right? Young people, are you here? Are you still tired from watching the Patriots win last night? Is that what it is? Huh? A little tired from that? A little emotional? We won and lost that game 3 times last night, so, you know, it's amazing. But it's impressive that young people put this event together. What I want to say to the young people here is you are the future of our city. You should be proud of yourself, and all of us in this room that have been doing this stuff in the city for a long time should be proud of young people, because you are the future. There's no question about it. And doing this today in the legacy of Dr. King, bringing the community together is important. Leslie already said this, but Dr. King said everybody can be great because everyone can serve. Think about those words for a minute. Everyone can be great because everybody can serve. What does that mean? That means that you don't have to be the mayor of Boston to do something great and serve. You don't have to be the President of the United States of America, the last President of the United States of America, to serve. You don't have to run an organization. You can be a person that's just hanging in your house and decide to go out on a particular day and get involved in the community and serve. That's the spirit that Madison Park has with our young people today and every single day. I know you already know this, young people, but think about this for a minute. Martin Luther King loved this city. He came here, he called this city his second home. He preached here at the 12 Baptist Church down the street. He got his education here in this city. When he left this city, he met his wife here in this city. He fell in love in this city. When you think about what he did with his life, the words that he spoke, we know the famous words on the mall, but we also know that he went around the United States of America preaching and talking to people about love and peace and tolerance. He talked about the injustices that we have in society back in the 60s and 50s and 40s. All of those different words that he said, they formulated, a lot of them formulated right here while he was walking these same streets that you walk every single day. He was walking in this neighborhood. He lived within a mile of this building. So think about it. He probably walked on Ruggles Street, this end of Ruggles Street. He definitely walked in this neighborhood. And as you think about a young person, I don't think he ever thought when he was here in Boston the impact that he would have on the entire world for decades afterwards, and it will be centuries afterwards. And that happened right here. He was a young person like you, like all of us were at one point. So it's amazing to think about and for you to remember the activism that you're doing today by having this breakfast today and this lunch today. Some of you are just doing it because you're doing it. Some of you are doing it because you want to do it. And some of you might not even understand the impact of what you've done today until you get older in life. But it is so important for you to stay active and stay connected to your community. In Boston, we're going to have a major memorial to Dr. King in Coretta Scott on Boston Common. But we have the conversation about the memorial or about the remembrance. We weren't sure what to call it. We started talking about like a monument. Does it belong in Roxbury? Does it belong in the South End? Does it belong in Boston Common? Where does it belong? Because all of those places he impacted, they already have one at BU where he went to school, so we weren't really sure what was going to happen. And what happened was a community conversation happened. And in that community conversation, they started thinking about what else could be part of this memorial, this monument. So in Roxbury, there'll be a new King Center for Economic Justice. Why do you think that's there? Somebody give me a reason why that's there. That doesn't know why it's there. Give me an idea. One of the young people, tell me why. Why is it important to bring this center to Roxbury? What do you do every single day, Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., roughly? What do? You go to school. What do you do in school? You learn. It's important to have it in Roxbury to learn so we don't forget. And make the generations after you understand the importance of the impact that Dr. King had in the community. We're also going to create educational programs in collaboration with the 12 Baptist Church all across the city. The 12 Baptist Church where Dr. King preached from. The altar that's still there today, where he preached from. And the people that go to church there remember him coming to Boston. And some people, the older people in this room, remember Dr. King being in our city. And I would suggest we talk to them and ask them what their feeling was at that particular moment, and what their feeling is reflecting back 50 years later. What's it like for them today? This memorial is going to ensure that Dr. King's legacy stays a central part of the conversation in Boston, which I think it always will. But it's going to inspire the next generation of young people to continue work for giving back and working towards a brighter future. And not just young people, people that are young, get older, and get old, and have an opportunity to continue to pass that message along. That's exactly what the Madison Park youth do every single day. To everyone else in this room, just about the youth, they're helping build a stronger, healthier, resilient city of Boston, but also a neighborhood that they're part of, because they take time out of their schedule to stay active in it, and I want to thank you for that. And as the mayor, and as all of us in this room, and city councilors, and City Councilor Kim Janey's with us today, as Kim, myself, Anissa, and China, Representative China Tyler, we're proud of the work the young people do in our city. We're proud of the inspiration that you are to our city. We want you to lead and keep leading. We want you to talk and let people know what's going on, and let people know and help inspire other young people. Because there's a whole bunch of young people that aren't in this room today. And this year, we started off this year in Boston. We're off to a little busier start than I'd like to have when it comes to shooting and some violence in our city. We've taken a lot of guns off the street this year so far, but we've lost too many lives this year. And it's you, the young people. Everyone looks to me for the answer. What's the answer? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? 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 It's not just about me. And it's not just about the city. And it's not just about the city council. And it's not just about the state representatives. It's about the young people. You are all Power's example. You might not realize it today. You might not realize that people are looking up to you for guidance, but they are, because you're all leaders. Take a look around this room today. It's because of you, the young people in this room from Madison Park, that we're all here today. Well, we're really here today because Dr. Martin Luther King, but it's you that put this together today. So I just want to thank you. You're a special group of young people, and there's no limit to what you can achieve in the city. Have a great day. Stay warm. Try and stay warm. And I'm done talking now, so we can eat soon. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Next, I'd like to introduce Representative China Tyler.
Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Representative China Tyler, and I'm very, very honored and more excited to be here, right in my own community, Roxbury. As you guys may know, I represent the 7th Suffolk District. That's Roxbury, Dorchester, Fenway, and the South End. And honestly, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for all the things that this community gave me. And I'm here with my daughter, Kaylin, who is 7 years old. She's the next generation. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that Mayor Walsh hit on. He was absolutely right. Again, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the generation that were before me. So I'm going to make sure I do everything I can to ensure that folks that want to stay in Boston and age in Boston be able to do so and do so comfortably. And for my generation, we want to make sure that we're as hands-on as we can possibly be for the next generation that's coming after us. For example, the Madison Park youth, because again, this community has everything that you need. You don't need to look any further. So we want to make sure that it's as fruitful and as great as when I was growing up. So in order to be able to honor that, I actually wrote a citation for the youth here at Madison Park Youth Development for all your hard work in creating the MLK Healthy Community Brunch for our neighborhood. So I really appreciate all that you guys do. And again, you can count on me to make sure that you guys have a safe and successful future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'm happy to introduce Boston City Councilor at Large, Anissa Asabi George.
I think we have a citation
too. Well, I just want to say good morning, everyone. I'm Anissa Rasavi George. I'm an at-large city councilor. Although I'm from Dorchester, it means I represent the whole city, so I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. And I think about the legacy of Martin Luther King when I think about this particular day of service. I think about how we should use this day not just to be active and activated today, but we should use it as fuel to activate ourselves for all of the other days of the year. And so although you seem to be a little bit mellow and quiet and looking forward, I think, to breakfast, I do hope that over the course of today or over the course of this weekend, you found a moment that you can tap into on other days, because this is a cold day, no doubt, but it's a bright and happy day. It should be a happy day, a sunshining day, which it looks like outside. But we need to remember that it's not just about celebrating this one day, that it's about finding that fuel and that energy to sustain us all of the days, because there are very difficult days ahead, no doubt. There are difficult days we've all had in the past, but capturing a moment over the course of this morning, over the course of brunch with one another, is my hope for you and my wish for you. And we get to celebrate this in a very beautiful space, no doubt, in a beautiful new building, but it's really less about the building and this space and more about the company we've chosen to keep over the course of this day. So then I hope that you use these moments, that you do capture those moments and capture these times with each other to move forward and to impact the rest of your day and your year. I was noting as I was sitting at the table over here with Kim and with the mayor, there's placards on all of your tables. And I hope you take a moment to look at them, the pictures of MLK and his moments, and some of the important quotes from his legacy. And it's important to reflect on that legacy. It's important to think back on his contributions, not just to Boston, but to the world, but to think about how you can embody them, how you can internalize them as individuals and share that spirit. And if the quote in front of you inspires you in some way, I hope it does. Those of you that are on social media, I think you should take a picture of them back and front and share them as well, because it's important to include that day, and next week and the week after, scroll through your photos and repost them. Because remember, it is more about this day, it is more than just this weekend and having this extra holiday on our calendar. It's how we choose to use it. And I too, like everyone else here, want to thank Madison Park Development Corp on their effort to bring everyone together. I think I'll invite Councilor Janey up to present this citation. I think she'll be part of the program afterwards. But I'll just bring her up for the presentation of the citation. As city councilors, we get to present citations to mark special moments in our city's history, really, because it does become a part of our history. So on behalf of the Boston City Council, myself and Councilor Kim Janey, who's our district councilor, are offering this special resolution marking this day for this healthy community brunch. Healthy community brunch, because it is about the physical health, the emotional health of our communities, and we get to break bread over that today. But just on behalf of us, would like to recognize Madison Park with Youth Development, or Development Corp for their Youth Development Program. Do you want to read the citation, Ms. Janey? Anyone? Is that okay to go on? Yeah, go for it. Is that all right? Yes. Thank you. So without further ado, I give to you my colleague that I'm so happy to work with every day, your district councilor, Kim Janey. Woo.
Thank you so much, Councilor Rasavi George. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kim Janey, and I have the pleasure of serving as the District 7 Boston City Councilor, which means I represent this community here of Roxbury. I certainly want to thank my colleague on the council, as well as the mayor, for your leadership. Thank certainly Jean and her staff, the board, but really all the young people that are here, all the people that make this possible. It's an honor and a privilege to serve as the Boston City Councilor representing this community, the community where Martin Luther King spent his time when he was in Boston, worshiping right at 12th Baptist Church, was just a block away on Shawmut Ave at the time, and also living in Roxbury on Mass Avenue. When I think about his legacy and his lessons, I'm reminded of different quotes, and there are quotes on your table, as my colleague has already pointed out. One quote in particular that has been on my mind this morning is his call to action. His quote that says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And that is a quote that I think that we all need to kind of keep at our forefront and in our hearts when we think about what we can do for other people in our community, what we can do for other young people, students in our schools, people on the workplace, people who live with us in our apartment buildings, on our streets. We need to be thinking about, particularly on days like this, when it is extremely cold. It's only 3 degrees in our community right now, and we're kind of frozen here. We've got to check in on each other, check in on other young people, check in on our seniors. So that is very important. Right before coming to this wonderful brunch, and I'm glad that the theme is healthy food, I was at another breakfast, and there was the keynote speaker there. This keynote speaker marched with Dr. Martin Luther King during the Civil Rights Movement. At the time, she was only 8 years old. And I say that, Reptile, you just said your daughter's 7. I say that is because you're never too young to do something for someone else. You're never too young to be active in your community. You're never too young to question what is right and do what is right. In fact, all of our movements, when we think about the different movements throughout history, young people have always been at the forefront. Young people have always been at the forefront of whatever fight we're talking about, whether we're talking about the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee during the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s, whether we're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement right here in this present day. Young people have always been leading the charge, and so it's important that you take that responsibility. It's an awesome responsibility, and continue to push forward. And so I just want to celebrate you this morning, or this afternoon, I don't even know what time it is, this afternoon. I want to lift you up, and together we can have a loud chorus when we lift our voices together. So thank you for the work that you're doing this morning. I look forward to continuing to partner with Madison Park and all the young people that are here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Counselor. I want to thank all of the elected today who are here, who attended, for attending and recognizing all the hard work that my fellow youth workforce program participants have done today. Next, I would like to introduce Madison Park's Youth Workforce Manager, Jeannie Montos.
Hi, first and foremost, again, I know that there's a lot of gratitude going on. I think this is the day to give thanks. It's a very, very special day. I think it's an important day for us to give thanks and to really recognize the initiatives, the values, and the morals that Dr. King has created. His legacy now still lives on, and now today, actually the 15th was his 90th birthday. So if we can just give a round of applause for his legacy. So thank you to Leslie, Kelly, and Liddell, and of course thank you to Mayor Walsh. Thank you to Senator Sonia Chang Diaz, Councilor Esaibi George, Councilor Janey, and of course who showed up today, China Tyler. Thank you so much. You might be wondering what Liddell was giving to the elected officials. He was actually giving them certificates of gratitude. It could not be made possible without having some notable figures really recognize the work of the young people that they have done today. So in the program, in Madison Park Development Program, we do have about 4 different employment programs and mentoring programs that the young people, participated. They do an extensive amount of work, everything from doing personal, professional development. We actually place them with employers, so if you know any employer out there that needs a brilliant intern, we can help you with that. And it's also a tool to help them develop themselves as civic engagement leaders of tomorrow. So in terms of gratitude, again, I want to thank you wholeheartedly. I also want to thank Leslie Reed, she's the VP of Programs. And I want to thank Abigail Forrester, which was our fearless leader, leading us on throughout the past 5 years of Madison Park Development Youth Program. So a lot was put into this event, everything from planning, execution, the colors, whatever we chose for the brunch. Today is a healthy brunch, so it's not going to be what you're normally used to in a home-style brunch, but we did take a different approach. So it's still going to be very, very tasty. It is home-cooked, and I want to say thanks to Ty's Table. She was able to put that together for us today. And also, it's important to honor MLK today with a day of service. So everyone that's working today is working, it's on a volunteer basis, so no one is getting compensated. We're all doing this just to live on the legacy of Dr. King. We do have some amazing performances. The young people worked, they researched, they were able to learn a lot of new information, they educated themselves on the awareness of everything that happened during the civil rights movement. We also have some elders in the room which were part of the movement, and I encourage you, young people as well as millennials, to please have a dialogue with them, talk about that, because that's the only way we can really understand the struggle and why we are here today. So I also want to definitely acknowledge all the citations that we were given today. We are very, very grateful. I think this is probably the first year that the Youth Workforce Department has been given a multitude of different citations, so I want to say thank you to that. So right now we are going to do brunch. So if I can get Arlene up to the podium. We are going to be calling you out for brunch by numbers. If you see that there's a little chalkboard with numbers on your table, we'll be doing the call outs by number. And DJ, if you can play some music, that would be great.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Arlene Baldwin. I am the Youth Workforce Program Coordinator. So I know everyone is ready to eat. We have some great food on the menu. So we're gonna just take a moment. If some of you can come have a seat as well, we have chairs in the front, so that way we can make a line. So if I can just have everyone who's standing, please find a seat, and then we'll call up some tables. Thank you. And youth leaders, please grab some more chairs. Thanks.
I know you're all very excited for brunch, but we just had Senator Sonia Chang Diaz arrive, so I did want to introduce her and welcome her to the stage when she is ready.
I guess it's afternoon now, right? Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sonia Chang Diaz, very proud to be your state senator on Beacon Hill. I don't want to stand between you and brunch. I don't want to stand between me and brunch because I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. But I just came from the big MLK Boston breakfast where all the muckety mucks in Boston are. And it's a wonderful event. It's an important event. We talk a lot about the problems in the world that need our weight and our voice behind them. But I want to tell you, I'm going to quote our new Congresswoman, Ayanna Pressley, that she recently tweeted out something along the lines of that joy is so essential to the movement. And it brings me real joy to be here with you today, right? I love the breakfast that I just came from, but it's a lot about the problems and the work. And this brunch to me is everything that we should be feeling joyful about in our city. The young people who have put this together, and I have heard that you guys really did everything to put this event together, in particular to honor the elders of our community. This is exactly what Dr. King and Coretta Scott King were talking about and were living and working for when they talked about the beloved community. This is the beloved community incarnate in front of me. And so I just thank you for allowing me to be a part of it and to come and fill up my spirit with the joy that this brings to this community today. Thank you so much. And I have a quick citation that I wanted to bring on behalf of the State Senate to the young people. And I don't know who is going to accept on behalf of the young people. It reads, "Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the Madison Park Youth Development Program participants in recognition of your dedication to celebrating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and being the beloved community with the MLK Healthy Community Brunch." So on behalf of the Senate, I salute you and all of your